Yes, Ms. Bowie.
Chair, before the break, we were tasked with looking at paragraph 32 of the statement and effecting a correction. I've discussed it with Mr. Rapesu. The third sentence that starts with the correspondence reflected that the office concerned. That sentence, my apologies, we're at page 11 of the statement. To delete the words, the correspondence reflected that the office concerned up until that place, and replace it with, I was informed by the general that he was, and then the sentence will continue, was reporting to the Office of the Minister of Police on the progress of the matter every 10 working days. I think I did a double, was just one. Mr. Rapesu, can you confirm?
Sorry, Ms. Boyd. Maybe still on that correction, to avoid any uncertainty, we should say I was informed by General Jacobs.
Yes,
because he's referred to much earlier in the paragraphs and there's no obvious connection.
And so the sentence will read, I was informed by General Jacobs that he was reporting to the Office of the Minister of Police on the progress of the matter every 10 working days. Can you confirm this?
I confirm, Chair.
Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ms. Bowen.
Then we can move to investigations and consultations. At paragraph 34, you just note there that you conducted investigations and your general approach. Do you want to summarize that, your approach to investigations?
Yeah, just in summary, as I started at 34.
Oh my God.
Just the information that was in the docket, it was not enough for us to have gone anywhere. So we basically made an appointment to meet with the complainant, which was supposed to be on the 19th, but that meeting never materialized. So we decided to meet as a team on the 19th. So I collected Mr. Perumal at the airport to go and meet with Advocate Ramsamy in Midrand. So when we arrived there, Advocate had already prepared documents for us emanating from the dockets that I've already collected at General Jacobs' office.
And when you say that he prepared documents, you mean the copies of the
copies of those dockets.
All right.
So Chief Perumal brought a stack of documents. It could be maybe between 10 to 20 pages.
When you say 10 to 20 pages, I'm also looking at your hand gestures. Is that or oh.
Yeah, let me just say around 20, just to be safe.
Yes.
Thank you.
And where did he say these documents came from?
No, he said he received them from Mr. Fadil Adams.
Did he indicate when he received those documents?
No, that I cannot say. He never indicated.
Okay. And what were the contents of these documents?
The documents were basically talking about the vettings. It was more or less about the people at Crime Intelligence. The names will be Madondo. It was information relating to the procurement of the forklift.
And was there any other documents apart from the ones related to vetting and the forklift issue?
No, I can't say much about that, but because we were deliberating, we were also talking about the housebreaking on the Lushaba matter. We were discussing these things at random. So, but what I could pick up is those.
All right. And you say that at this meeting you took some notes.
Yes, I did take some notes.
Commissioners, the notes are attached as MRR4 at page 31 of the annexures. I tried to read some of them, but Mr. Rapesu advised that he, maybe perhaps to explain your approach when you take notes.
Chair, when we take notes, we basically write, okay, my handwriting looks like I'm a doctor or something because it's not. But what we usually do is we don't write, from our side, we write in such a way that even if I get to lose this document, the person who will have it will not be able to make out what was this about, because we are dealing with sensitive information, people's names and other things. So you try to be as vague as you can, but at least you as the writer, you will be able to remember what was this about. So if you see snakes and other things there, you must just understand that that's the way we operate. Thank you, Chair.
I must say, I wanted to say your handwriting is better than someone we all know here.
Thank you very much.
I just whispered to my colleagues that this, by far, this is very beautiful compared to mine.
And so you note that in the meeting you also discussed how, but perhaps before we move past the documents, I have to ask, from the documents that you saw, the 20 pages, in your opinion, would it fit under a normal standard door?
Yes. It's possible. It's possible.
So does it not depend on what the door looks like? Should we not just subpoena Parliament to send us photos of the office and what the door looks like? Because a witness who has not been there, there are some doors that leave space large enough for things to slide under, and others don't provide for that. So isn't Parliament better positioned to give us that information?
Commissioner Kumalo, I take your point, and perhaps we should do a subpoena in that light.
He hasn't been there. It's unfair to ask him that question because it forces him to give an answer he's uncertain about.
Point accepted. I was following on a conversation we also had with Advocate Ramsamy about having seen the documents, whether or not they could, but I take your point. Mr. Rapesu, I won't take that point any further, but you then say that the discussion, you decided to, on approaches for the cases, including to group the cases in particular way. Can you explain some of that?
Yes, we decided that we are going to group the cases into four groups. That will be, the first one is going to be the Lushaba matter, because that was from the look of things, that was the clear or simple one, because it had the old docket, which was opened already in 2022. So the groups were the Lushaba matter, the Madondo matter, the forklift matter. Then the last one was the PKTT matter.
And even in this grouping, there doesn't seem to be reference to the Mukwele matter.
That is correct, Chair.
Okay. Then, if we can then move to your next consultation,
before that, the notes that we're looking at page 31 up to 34, the first observation, and please correct me if I'm wrong, I have done my best to try and read your handwriting, but the first observation is it looks like the first 3 pages of that all relates to the Lushaba matter. And then you have the last...
Can I be assisted?
It's that same file that has your statement in it.
Oh.
Go to page 31. We are looking at your handwritten notes. At page 31. They refer to housebreaking. That's the theme, the main theme at page 1, page 2, I think page 3 as well.
That will be correct, Commissioner.
And this information that you have here, where does it come from? Is it what you were told in that meeting, or it's material that you got from the docket?
This information is coming from the engagements in the meeting, that is coming from the file that was provided by the advocate with the copies of the docket and the documents that Chief Perumal brought.
Okay. And am I correct that, and then page 4 of that, it seems that's for the first time then that you are making notes about the forklift. It's one line. There's another line on vetting, and there's another short line on BMW lady. And then as you carry on, there's more detail of it. Again, that detail. So you see where I'm looking at page 34? This is where it looks like you then group the matters at page 34.
Page 34.
You have forklift, you have 28 vetting files, and then you have BMW lady. You see where I'm reading?
Oh, yes.
You see where I'm reading?
I see it.
And then when you carry on to the next page, those notes there, for example, about the BMW lady, where does this information come from now as you're recording it? Let's say at page 36, you have Brigadier from BMW. She is, something is said, Kumalo/Lushaba, and then Grabbers, and something, Brigadier female, ORS. This information comes from whom amongst you, and where was it sourced from at this point? Remember, we still at that meeting in Midrand.
Yes, the issue about the BMW lady, it was coming from Chief Perumal.
Okay.
So it was just mentioned as it is. They didn't mention it. The name was not mentioned. It was just the way I captured it.
Okay. And then at page 37, you've got the last 2 sentences there. The last 2 sentences, I'm more interested in the penultimate one, the first one that has a star to it.
Yes.
Can you just speak to that? It makes reference to Paul O'Sullivan.
That is correct.
What is that about?
So during the engagement in the meeting, Chief Perumal asked about a clip that was circulating. So the discussions was they tasking me to go to Mr. O'Sullivan to find out if he had opened a case against around this issue about the BMW lady, and also to find out if he has conducted or done anything on that matter. So the discussion was to give me the tasking to say I must go and find out from him what did he do on this matter.
Did you speak to Mr. O'Sullivan?
I did speak.
The tasking.
I did speak to Mr. O'Sullivan.
And what did he give you, or what did he say? And when I say you, I mean IDEC.
Yes. No, what he provided to me, he gave me a letter. I'm not sure whether it was the letter to the minister or from the minister, but it has something to do with that. So he also provided me with the report. On that report, there's something that we call CPB, where you check people's details or something like that. So those details, he provided them via email. He said,
whose details were there in that document? Do you remember?
It was
Brigadier Mukwele.
Brigadier Mukwele's details.
Okay.
So when he forwarded the emails to me, I also noticed on the email that information was sent to Adv Johnson on the 5th of December 2025 already.
And sent
My
to...
apologies. Sorry, Commissioner Baloyi.
If it's a topic that you were going to cover, I'm happy to leave it. I just thought you were moving away from these notes.
Two parts. I wanted to correct the date from the witness, which is it's dated December. We'll ask the attorneys to hand up the 2 January. Sorry, it's 5 January is the date of the 2 emails that were sent. I'll ask the attorneys to distribute them to everyone. The consultation with Mr. O'Sullivan is dealt with in upcoming section.
Okay, I'm leaving it. You should have stopped me earlier.
My apologies. As long as I keep track of jumping around, I'm comfortable with moving forward.
Okay, all right. Mr. Raposi, we're going to stop here, and then Ms. Bowe will take you through her paces.
Thanks, Commissioner.
Okay.
While we get the email sorted, I'm just going to move forward to the next consultation that happens in the order of things. Mr. Rapeso, if we can then go to paragraph 38, where you deal with your consultation with Mr. Adams. Can you explain what happened on that occasion?
On this occasion, Cape Town consult with Mr. Adams. We interview him. He provides us with further information that we asked for. Just to cut the matter short, we obtained the supplementary affidavits, 4 supplementary affidavits. The 4 supplementary affidavits were commissioned by myself. So,
before we go too far into the commissioning, perhaps let's start with what was the purpose of your consultation?
The purpose of the consultation was to provide Mr. Adams with an opportunity to clarify issues about the dockets. And before that, we became aware that he was complaining that he could not have put most of the information in the dockets. So we wanted to find out from him what more did he have to give to us.
Okay. And through that process, you were then with him preparing supplementary affidavits.
That is correct.
Would this be supplementary to the A1 statements that were in the docket?
That is correct.
Now, I just want to use one as an example, one of the supplementary affidavits. If we can go to file 9, page 3485, I think is where the first one is.
Three, 4.
Oh, 3485. Okay.
I'm the commissioners in chair.
Okay, so you will see there Thank you. My apologies. I look at the screen. You'll see there that, can you confirm that that is one of the supplementary affidavits you took with Mr. Adams?
I confer, Chair and Commissioners.
And you'll see when you look through the affidavit, it's probably like 2 pages long.
That is correct.
And you'll note that even in terms of detail, it's almost as thin as the A1.
That is correct.
Can you explain why this is in particular? Because the team went to Cape Town to obtain further particulars, and I would assume to get more information so that you bolster up the A1 that's in the dockets.
That is correct, Chair. But the purpose of the exercise was not for us, for us to tell him what to tell us. We wanted to get from him what he's going to give us. So basically, he gave us the same thing that was in the A1.
And in consultation, did you bring that to his attention that you are not telling us anything new?
Yeah, if it was in a normal way, I was going to tell him that you're not giving us fuck all. But the problem now is he's an honorable member. So I couldn't have. But just to tell the truth, we went there for nothing.
And then by way of documents, because that's also one of the other purposes, to obtain documents from him.
Yes, the main purpose was to obtain documents from him. Not literally the main purpose to obtain the documents from him, but we were hoping that he will give us something to substantiate the allegations. So when we were busy typing his affidavit, we were hoping that when he was saying that he was explaining and that he was explaining the documents, we put it in his affidavit and marked, put it on the statement that is when he will be attaching documents. But however, before we could finish, he indicated that he didn't have documents to give us to attach.
Just for the record, an example of when you would indicate that a document would be attached. If we can look at the affidavit in relation to the forklift matter, which is at 3487.
Yes, Commissioners.
You will see at paragraph 3, there is an indication there that documentation in this regard is attached here too as Annexure FA1. Is that what you meant by you indicated
That is correct. That is correct.
But you were not furnished with those annexures.
We were not finished with those annexures. And just to make a point also, when the interview started, when Advocate Ramsamy asked him about the documents, Mr. Fadil already told us that he gave the documents to Chief Perumal just before the interview started.
Okay. Would those have been the documents that Mr. Perumal then shared with you in the meeting of the 19th of December?
That is possible, yes. So I that's what I thought also, that these are the documents that he was referring to.
So in essence, there wouldn't have been other documents to disclose?
Correct.
Apart from those that you had already then seen?
Correct.
I just want to bring your attention to something where, if you go to paragraph 39 of your statement.
May I just raise something about the last sentence of paragraph 38, starting during the meeting, your statement. There you say that during that meeting, Mr. Adams showed messages said to concern the PKTT in brackets, attributed to Lieutenant General Mkhwanazi and forwarded to Mr. Adams via Minister Mkhunu or Mr. Cedric Nkabinde, close brackets. What was the nature of these messages? Were they SMSs, WhatsApp chats, or what? And what did the messages say?
Chair, the messages were on WhatsApp. So while he was showing me the phone, he was explaining that these messages are saying this. But when I looked at the phone, I read, but it was just a message that says, I don't know how to, like, it was just, he just flashed it to me too. So I couldn't see the top part where the message is coming from. That's why I'm saying in my affidavit, it's coming from Minister Mkhunu, or because I couldn't see where the message is coming from. So on the last part of the phone, also I couldn't see, basically I couldn't see the names. I was relying on what he was telling me that this message is saying. But indeed, it was written there that if you disband the PKTT, something was that, I can't remember by head.
So you could not tell who had sent the message?
That is correct.
Nor could you tell who that message had been sent to?
That is correct, Chair.
But you said, if I understood you correctly, you said just now, you said you read.
Yeah, I was just trying to read to make sense.
Yes.
But
can you tell in clearer terms what you read?
It was what I read. It was a line that was saying, if you disband the PKTTs, I can't remember the other ways that followed, because he was showing me, he was talking and telling me, do you see here? He's saying.
And you say the messages were attributed to General Mkhwanazi. Was it Mr. Adams who attributed the messages to General Mkhwanazi?
That is correct, Chair. So
he said, here's a message that came from General Mkhwanazi.
That is correct, Chair.
And what did he say regarding the forwarding? What exactly did Mr. Adams say?
So regarding the forwarding,
yes,
he seemed to be saying that he got the message from the Chief of Staff, Mr. Nkabinde.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
We maybe deal with the 6 January affidavit so that we don't have to come back to it. The three of you are in Cape Town, and I'm assuming all three of you are interviewing Mr. Adams.
That is correct, Commissioner.
All of you are asking him questions.
That is correct, Commissioner.
And then who was typing the affidavits?
Chief Perumal was doing the typing, Commissioner.
Was doing the typing. And how did you end up being the one commissioning the affidavits? Was there a discussion about that?
There was no discussion about that, but as a lead investigator on the matter, I just assumed that it's me who was supposed to commission the affidavit.
And there was no objection from the other two?
There was no objection.
Where was your stamp? Why did you not stamp this affidavit?
I don't carry stamps, Commissioner.
And the three of you, did none of you have stamps with them?
No, we didn't have the stamp, Commissioner.
And nobody even raised that as an issue.
No, it's not an issue.
Who has the stamp? You know, the three of us here.
No, it was never mentioned.
We would say, do you have a green pen? And Chair would
Oh,
have a
yes.
green pen, and that's how we would deal with it.
No. There was no
Curious
stamp.
to understand, how did that process unfold of you ending up commissioning the affidavit? You see, he has a green pen with him. So when we need a green pen, we will confer and say who has a green pen because we want to mark something. But I'm interested to know the process that led to you commissioning the affidavits. And what did you do with them afterwards? Did you give them to Chief Perumal, the affidavits?
The process of commissioning, I'm just gonna put it from the knowledge that I know. Mr. Perumal is not a person that will want to put his signature or name in any document. From what I know is, even if you write an affidavit and you mention him, he is going to fight with you. He doesn't want to be put on any affidavit. He doesn't want to be named at anything. But operationally, he leads everything. So I just assumed that because I'm the lead on this, I have to commission.
After you commissioned this affidavits,
Yes.
What did you do with them?
I provided the affidavits to him.
You gave them to Chief Perumal.
That is correct.
And then the three of you flew back to Johannesburg. What happened?
So when we flew back, then I can't remember at what point did they come back to me, because remember I have to record in the docket that I'm filing this affidavit in the docket, which I did.
No, I'm more interested in you are done with the interview. You're
Yes.
in Cape Town. You are now coming back to Johannesburg. Did the three of you fly to Johannesburg together?
No, I think the two of us, I advocated myself, we flew back, then he flew back to East London.
Yes. Where I'm leading to is, was there a time during the 6th when Chief Perumal was alone with Mr. Adams and the two of you, being you and Advocate Ramsamy, were not there?
Yeah, there is a possibility that we were not together at all the times.
On the 6th?
On the 6 years.
And then while Mr. Adams was there, because it may be that you are not together at the same time, but Mr. Adams is also nowhere around. During the period when Mr. Adams is around,
No, I missed the question.
yes, was there an occasion or a moment when the two of you were somewhere else and Mr. Perumal was alone with Mr. Adams?
No, that never occurred.
And after your meeting where you took the supplementary affidavit, was there an arrangement perhaps to meet again on the same day with Mr. Adams by any one of you that was made in your presence?
No, Chair. Commissioners, there was no arrangement.
Did you sleep in Cape Town that day and come back the following day, or did you come back on the same day?
No, we came the following day.
The 7th of January.
That is correct, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. Repos, you indicated in your exchange with the commissioners that you needed to then record the interview and the affidavits and put that into the docket.
That is correct.
I know you've given us a portion of an investigation diary where you do that as an example. If you can go to page 40 of your annexures.
Which table flag, Ms. Bowen?
My apologies, Chair. It's MRR 5.
Thank you.
You will see there at the beginning, is that the entry that you did post after your consultation with Mr. Adams?
That is correct, Chair.
And if Mr. Peramo did an affidavit, would it also be recorded in this diary, if it were possible that he did?
That was supposed to be recorded, Chair.
And then, just for completeness, at paragraph 40, you note there that after the consultation, you took 4 supplementaries.
That is correct.
And
Ms. Bo, he said something about the docket. Can you just, did you put the supplementaries in the docket?
Yes, I put the supplementaries in the docket.
Was that on the 7th?
Yes, that will be on the next day.
On the next day?
Yes.
And then were there any other affidavits in the dockets besides the ones that you commissioned?
No, Chair.
At paragraph 40, you indicate that there's a matter of serious concern that you saw, including that there's a A1. There's since been an A1 affidavit in the Mokwele matter that purports to have been commissioned on the 6th of January. You see that?
That is correct.
Can you, in sum, just explain what your concern is there?
So my concern is, on the day in question, there were only 4 supplementary affidavits that were obtained. And if that purported A1 is indicated that was obtained on that day, on the 6th, it was not obtained in my presence. So I'm basically also indicating that if there is a possibility that it was obtained on that day, well, I can't dispute that, but it was obtained not in my presence. I also indicate that the information that Mr. Fadil Adams provided to us on that day, he never said anything about what was contained in that A1. And it could not be that it was obtained on that day because that information was not readily available at that time.
And just for completeness, if you can go to file 9 at page 3483. Are you there?
I'm there, Commissioners.
Is that the affidavit, at least one of the affidavits that were concerning to you? If you look at the affidavit, if you go to page 3484, you'll see there that it's dated 6 January 2025, and it says it was signed in Cape Town. Then it was commissioned by Mr. Peramo, and it includes his stamp.
Yes, this is the affidavit that I was indicating that I'm concerned with. And just to put it clear, I don't know this affidavit, and I've never seen it until it was presented here.
All right, thank you. And then just to just clarify with you, you didn't see the disclosed dockets?
No, I didn't see the disclosed docket.
Because by then you were already removed from the matter. That would have been...
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
On that, ordinarily, these supplementary affidavits, you say you put them in the docket, would they have been, and it may be an obvious question or has an obvious answer, but I would like to get it on record. These supplementary affidavits that you put in the docket, would they be part of what gets disclosed to the accused in the process in court?
That should be the way you have put it, Commissioner.
So if all was done properly, or if proper disclosure was made, when we look at the docket that is presently sitting with the accused, we should find your supplementary affidavits in there.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay.
The question I asked you earlier about what you put in the dockets, the affidavits that you commissioned, if they were not in the dockets when the dockets were shared with the accused, that can only mean that somebody swapped the affidavits that you commissioned for the affidavit that Advocate Poe is showing you now.
That is correct, Chair. Not only swapping, it can also be that the others were hidden so that they cannot be. So it can either be.
In fact, it seems to me that, and please comment and tell me if I'm correct, that even if there were a legitimate or a proper explanation for the Perumal affidavits, I'm going to call them the Perumal affidavits, a proper and full disclosure would mean both his affidavits and your supplementary affidavits have to be disclosed.
That is correct.
They are all part of the docket.
That is correct, Commissioner.
I'm correct with that. Thank you.
Even if, or let me just put it like this. Because there was already an A1, the reason for us to go there was to obtain a supplementary. Even if there was a statement that was supposed to be obtained by Mr. Perumal that day, it was supposed to be marked as supplementary also because it's supplementing something. It cannot be that it's just an A1 without any mention of supplementary or what.
Now, in this interview with Mr. Adams, and I just want to use as an example one of the your supplementary statements. So the one at 3493. 3493. And that's your supplementary affidavit, which deals with the allegations about the PKTT.
That is correct.
And the use of the Secret Service funds, right?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. So you have not seen the original the 27 affidavit, which speaks about the PKTT. You hadn't seen it. No, as far as Mr. Perumal and Miss Johnson are concerned, you've never seen that affidavit when you meet with Mr. Adams, right?
Thank you, Commissioner, yes.
Okay. But you are now in a meeting with the complainant in the presence of Mr. Perumal. What do? Do you say to him, what do you have to tell us about the political killings, Hasim? How did you manage that? And did Mr. Perumal not stop you? Did he sit quietly as you are talking about the PKTT with this complainant?
The witness just volunteered the information. And from what I was gathering, when Mr. Perumal was trying to interject or maybe say something, he was just pushing him. It looked like maybe they fought about something because he didn't even want to entertain him. So the witness just volunteered this information and we put it exactly as he was saying.
Yes.
And now this information now is now corroborating what I've explained already that I saw on the 27th, because he was explaining the same information and on the same sequence.
Okay. So when he volunteered, as you say, and again, I'm using this PKTT as an example, the others as well, your supplementary statements that speak about Madondo, the forklift, my question applies to them as well. So when he speaks about the PKTT, he wasn't he didn't express any surprise. Why are we talking about the PKTT? Because I never said anything about the PKTT.
Not at all.
There was no issue.
There was no issue.
So when you take his supplementary, you understood from that interaction that he's building. He knows he's building on the section 27.
That is correct.
He spoke
Chair.
about these various topics.
That is correct, Chair.
Okay.
So just to indicate further, the same name of Dlamini also came up.
Yeah.
And I also informed him that I know Dlamini.
Yes.
So we had a small conversation about it, but we left it at that.
And Chief Perumal didn't say, but we are here to talk about Mukwele. Why is he talking about this?
No, he never said anything.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Boy.
Just to complete your point about the Cape Town Pretoria affidavits commissioned by Chief Perumal, you said they too should have been named supplementary affidavits. May I take you to page 3483? That's one of Chief Perumal's affidavits, or rather affidavits commissioned by him. You see there between the tram lines at the top of 3483, there it says affidavit. An affidavit is not preceded by supplementary.
That is correct, Chair. I confirm that.
Yes, whereas if you compare it with the affidavit at 3485, which was commissioned by you, there you do have supplementary before affidavit.
That is correct, Chair. I confirm that, Chair.
All right, thank you.
And then, Chair, to make one last point on this topic, we've handed up 3 documents. I'll just deal with one, the one that's related, that has the presentation attached. It's an email dated Thursday, 16 January 2025. Just to avoid referring to the exhibit, I propose that we number it as the next annexure to his statement and to mark it MRR 12. Oh, goodness. My apologies. Apparently I said 13 January. It's 16 January. The email.
Oh yeah, the time 13:31:01.
Yes.
Thank you.
We will be using it
And you say we should call it
MRR 12.
12. Thank you.
We will be using it for a different point, but on this aspect, if you go to page 5 of the presentation, this presentation was provided by the witness this morning, hence the late edition. So you'll see from the email that it comes from Mr. Perumal, and it's sent to Ms. Ramsamy and Mr. Rapesu and Mr. Parayachi. And the subject line says diversion presentation. The aspect that we want to draw your attention to is at page 5. Can you go to page 5 of the presentation? And the second bullet point.
I'm there, Chair. Yes, on page 5, the second bullet point, Chief Perumal, on his presentation that he has drafted, is confirming that we traveled to Cape Town and we obtained supplementary affidavits from the witness. And from this, he's only talking about the supplementaries. He's not talking about any other affidavits that he has obtained. That is an official presentation that he has prepared. Can I also elaborate on?
Yes, Commissioners, the witness also wanted to complete the point related to the section 27 that he saw, and that this presentation corroborates that. If we can go to slide 2 or page 2, and then you can explain from there.
I think you should go to page 3, the top.
No, page 2. So because it outlines all of.
Oh yes,
yeah.
The background of the matter is explained. It's explaining the gist of the matter about what was on the section 27. So what I want to point out is on point number 4, which is at page 3.
But perhaps all of them help you.
All right.
If you recall all of the aspects you said you saw.
Yes, but from number 1, 2, 3, and 4, which the first one is talking about the Lushaba matter, the second one is talking about the forklift matter, the third one is talking about the promotions and vettings, then the fourth is talking about the PKTT, and it explains now what I was explaining that I saw on the 27th. So that information that I was relating, Chief Perumal now is putting it in his presentation, which is at point number 4.
22 January 2025.
That is correct, Chair.
The presentation is dated 22, but it was sent to the team on the 16th of January.
And this presentation, was it delivered?
It was delivered, Chair and Commissioner.
And it's delivered as in it was presented?
It was presented. I think Advocate Ramsamy will talk more because on the day of the presentation, she also added from the prosecution side. Then she'll be able to explain it further. I just wanted to indicate that that fact that I said I saw initially when I was browsing quick, it is now reflected on the presentation that was prepared by Chief Perumal.
Did you attend the presentation?
Yes, I was present at the presentation.
Was Ms. Johnson present?
She was present.
So Ms. Johnson was aware as at the date of that presentation that you went and consulted and you are working off a section 27 referral that deals with those items.
That is correct, Chair and Commissioner.
Thank you.
In fact, the cover email says the presentation is to be submitted to her.
That is correct, Commissioner.
So the email of 16 January.
That is correct, Commissioner.
But to corroborate Advocate Ramsamy's page 1 of the presentation, what the project was named, if you can just display that. Just very quickly, do you know where the name comes from? Why was it called Operation Diversion?
Chair and Commissioners, I don't know where the name came from, but I know it was called Project Diversion.
Enlighten us.
I can't say more. I just know that it was called diversion. But as to how did it come about, I don't know.
Sorry, Ms. Boy. Just perhaps for, even if it's just for completeness, in that page 3 of the presentation, the very last paragraph, it says, and further suspects, this is the Member of Parliament, he makes the allegation about General Kumalo, senior managers, together with General Lushaba, for abusing COVID funds. And then this is the part, and further suspects that the National Commissioner, General Masemula, may be involved in some of these allegations. Do you recall Mr. Adams saying that in your consultation? And if he did he say more than just I suspect? Did he say why, if he did?
I can't recall this part, but also I can't dispute that it might have been said. So
you have no recollection?
I don't have any recollection of this, Chair.
Thank you.
Commissioner.
And number 3, page 2. What was that about? Was it about the Brigadier Mukwele matter or not?
At the time, it was just phrased as this. So the probable word that may have been used is the BMW lady, but not the name.
I'm asking because...
No, I didn't read it properly.
Yes.
Yes, there were no names mentioned here. It was just phrased as it is.
Yes. I want to see how we relate this or do not relate it to a point you made earlier, which was that there was no mention of the Mukwele matter at some stage early on. Can you just give me clarification with regard to number 3 and what you said earlier?
I will start it when we were grouping the cases. It was Lushaba, Matondo, Forklift, and PKTT.
Yes.
So,
and that was because there was no issue about...
There was no, yes. So if the name could have came up, it would have maybe just randomly came, but not in the context of it being a case to be investigated.
As the presentation was being made, were you able to understand how number 3 could suddenly have featured?
No, it was not. I couldn't.
Okay, all right.
Mr. Rapis, maybe to take you back to something you said earlier in the morning, and I hope my recollection is correct. When you were saying the 2 matters that you were involved in, you specifically said you were involved in the Lushaba matter, and then you said you were involved in the Madondo matter, which later became the Mukwele, or was then known as the Mukwele matter. And if I'm not mistaken, that Madondo matter was related to a promotion, and it had vetting issues, and that, am I incorrect?
You had me correct, but the issue now is from the 4, I don't know, because I was removed. I don't know when did Mukwele overtake the Madondo. So that's why I was just phrasing it in that context, that at the beginning there was no Mukwele, but suddenly then there was Mukwele now overtaking the Madondo.
So what this means is that number 3 could well have been referring to the Madondo matter.
That is correct.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Then I think that should cover your consultation. I want to say for now. I'm hopeful, Commissioner Kumalo, that you won't need it.
Are you done with the notes that are MRR4? I just wanted to check something. If you are closing that part,
No, you can proceed, Commissioner Benoit.
okay. Mr. Rapesu, your notes that we were looking at earlier, they start at page 31. And it's really a short question. If you look at page 32, and that whole page seems to be concerned with the housebreaking at General Lushaba, the housebreaking matter, or the General Lushaba matter.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Now, you have there certain telephone numbers of two people as a side note, and one of them is Feroz Khan, and the other is Ian Small Smith. Do you remember who gave you these, and what were you to do, if anything, with these numbers? If you remember.
If I remember well, these numbers were provided by Chief Peruman, and Mr. Feroz Khan was one of the people that was identified that he will shed more light about the topic that we were talking about.
About the Lushaba matter. Well, maybe...
Yes, about the Lushaba matter.
The page looks like a Lushaba discussion.
It was mentioned that he will shed more light, and I think it has something to do with the reporting or something. It has something to do with the lost items that were reported to Khan, something like that.
Okay. So he would shed light on that.
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay. And then the second name, is that a subs person? Ian Small Smith?
I can't remember.
Okay, you don't remember what
I can't remember what was it all about.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Paul.
Thank you, Commissioner Maloy. I'm advised by Advocate Seagulls Nube that Mr. Ian Small Smith is an attorney.
I thought there might be another one in the subs.
My apologies. And that I'm advised is according to Ms. Ramsamy. So it was a poor... Here's a double, triple. Commissioners, we are then going to move to the next topic, which is the instructions to subpoena General Lushaba's bank records. Mr. Rapesu, can you just explain briefly what happened in this regard, the instruction and how it came about?
What has actually happened is Advocate Ramsamy came to my office with a piece of paper indicating that the head of the office, Advocate Johnson, wanted me to draft a Section 28 subpoena. So I had a conversation with Advocate Ramsamy to say, but this we can't do because we don't have anything in the docket that talks to that. And I was raising my concern to say, if we do this, I'm not going to be able to explain tomorrow why I subpoenaed these documents. So I must say I was very harsh.
Was it the first time you heard about this 50 million rand need to get a subpoena or a matter relating to this?
At that point, it was the first time I was hearing it. So I was a bit harsh on her to say, no, I can't do, like, I've been used those words that we use yeah. So, but eventually, she said that she's going to take my message back to the head of the office to say, so she wanted me to put it in a nicer way. So I did send a WhatsApp to say, can we at least stall or maybe wait until we get further information before we move on this?
And just so that we can, let's go to your message. Although I'm interested in the harsh language, but I'll just proceed to the message that you sent. If we can go to file 10 at page 172.
Yeah, I can see.
Okay. And you'll see there, this is from Advocate Ramsami's phone. It's screenshots that she took for her statement. And you'll see there's a message on the 11th of December, 2024.
That is correct.
And up there, it also says forwarded.
That is correct.
Can you read that message?
Good morning, Advocate Drew. I have noted your instructions to prepare the Section 28. I was suggesting that we stall or park it until we consult with the complainant. The reason being that his affidavits are not drafted properly. We need to consult with him so that we may be in a better position to do same. I'll prepare them in the meantime so that after consultation we can move. We could move faster. Thanks.
So it is now this the message that you sent?
That is correct, Commissioners.
Advocate Ramsamy testified that she then forwarded this message to the ID.
Maybe before you do that, the complainant that you referred to in your message to Advocate Ramsamy, who are you referring to when you say we need to consult with the complainant?
I'm referring to Mr. Fadil Adams, Commissioner.
Because you thought that this comes out of his complaint?
That is correct, Commissioner.
Okay, thank you.
After you sent the message to Ms. Ramsamy, what happened? Did she get back to you about?
She did get back to me, but she indicated that the ID did not take kind of me questioning her. So we were summoned now to Advocate Johnson's office, where now she now instructed me to draft the Section 28, and that's now when she explained that she got information about the 50 million, the slush funds and other things. So she also instructed me that I must do those 28s as in now, because she wants to sign them before she left the office.
And did she indicate where this information was coming from and or which docket it was even related to?
No, it was not mentioned.
And just an earlier thing that you said Ms. Ramsamy came in with a piece of paper. What was on the piece of paper?
On the piece of paper, it was just information about General Lushaba, but what I could pick up there, it was the ID number. So I had to do those subpoena on his ID number. Remember, the banks that he's banking with, we will not have, I don't think they will have got them. So the instruction was to use the ID number.
The instruction was to use the ID number, and then would you then send to all banks?
That is correct.
Then can we just go to the email? If you can go to page 173 of file 10.
I'm there.
Is that the email that you sent?
That is correct.
And why did you put that subject line?
The subject line, I think I did deliberately so that it can stand out from the others, just to show that there was a problem with this thing. So I wanted to be able to identify it sometime in the future, so that I can be able to point out that there was an issue with that instruction.
So what
Please
was your
read-
choice?
Please read that subject line into the record.
Section what?
Thank you. And then if we can go to the section what itself. They are on the following page. If we can just go to the next page, 17. The first thing to note is on the following page, there's a number of annexures. Can you see that in gray blocks?
That is correct.
Those
I
are
can see.
the summons that you sent.
That
the
is correct.
draft. And then if you go to the next page, is this one of the summons
That is correct, Chair. Commissioners.
for Advocate Johnson to sign?
That is correct.
Now, if we go to Annexure A, on page 176, you will note there that there's a background, right? Correct?
That is correct.
And when you look at the background, you indicate, my apologies.
No, I'm following. It's fine.
Apologies, it's me who can't see.
Oh.
In the background, you indicate the nature of the investigation that's been undertaken, that there's an investigation in terms of Section 1A. Can you see that?
That is, I can see.
But at the time, what was authorized would have been a Section 2813 in relation to the referral from Mr. Adams.
Yes, Chair, I noticed that, and I accept that it is an error on my part. It was supposed to be 2813. So the reason why it is because due to the pressure and the time that I was supposed to generate this document, I now went into the matter that I indicated that I was working on previously. So I just did a copy and paste thing. So I did not change the Section 1 to 13.
And then, but this was then checked and signed by the ID.
That is correct, Chair.
And just in the ordinary course, when you are preparing these, do they go directly to the ID, or is there a process through which they go up the chain?
The process is it's supposed to be that the PM, project manager, is the one that's supposed to escalate those things and also to issue there's something that we call an LAR number. So it's a sequence of numbers where they follow each other to be able to track or to manage how the Section 28s are being controlled. So the process was supposed to be, it should move from myself to a project manager, then from the project manager to her office. But it did not move in that way. It went straight to her office this time.
And to your knowledge, for this case in particular, or this project, was there a project manager at the time you were involved?
No, there was not.
And just lastly on this topic, I know you communicated your issues in the text, but in the meeting, did you convey to Advocate Johnson that the issuing of this subpoena in the circumstances of very little evidence would be problematic?
I didn't even get a chance to speak. So I assumed that when Advocate Ramsamy went to her, she said enough. So I didn't even get a chance to speak. I was just told what to do.
Did you consider the meeting a consultation, or was it really just to receive the instruction?
No, it was just there to give the instructions.
Thank you. Then, oh, my page.
Just lastly from me on this, and because you were the investigator, I think you were the lead investigator, and you are the one that prepared this summons, maybe to get a comment from you. It's in fact what I want to propose or put to you for your comment, that this summons about the 50 million rand, in the absence of an underlying complaint or allegation properly that was given to you, like the Section 27 referral, in the absence of a complaint properly lodged, this process of a summons is a misuse of the Section 2813 process.
That is correct.
That is so.
That is correct.
Thank you.
And then, just out of interest, did this process ever yield any bank statements, or by the time a response was received from the banks, you were no longer on this matter?
No, we got some results back, but when we received those, usually we give to the financial investigator to analyze, because sometimes it's a huge document. So what I will do is I will collect from the banks, and when everything is done, then I will provide it to the financial investigator. But I was removed before that process could finish.
Thank you. Then if we can go to paragraph 43 of your statement.
Paragraph 53?
No, my apologies, 43 on page 15.
Oh.
You indicated there that you made a report.
That is correct. I continued with the investigation on the Lushaba matter. I subsequently produced a report on the findings of the investigation. Then I submitted the report to Chief Perumal.
And then in relation to the Mukweli matter?
In relation to the Mukweli matter, I refused to work on that matter or to be involved in that matter, because while I was busy with the Lushaba matter, I became aware that Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi were meeting some of the witnesses, I can say in the corners. They were meeting in some places that I was not aware of. So what will actually happen is they were booked in a hotel. So because I'm local, after work, I'll just go home. Then when they are at the hotel, they were making arrangements to meet people, which they were bringing affidavits that I was not aware of. So I took issue with that. I reported to Advocate Ramsamy and Mr. Sisoko to say this is what is happening, they must deal with the matter. Eventually, I requested to be removed from that matter, and I was removed from the investigation of that case only.
And as a lead investigator, are the two other investigators allowed to proceed with investigations and interviews without you?
No, they were not allowed to. What should have happened is, even if they informed me that they are going, what was going to be, let me phrase it this way. If they informed me that there was a witness that they are going to see, and I have agreed to say, no, it's fine, then it will not be a problem. But for them just to identify someone and go and interview those people without my knowledge, that was not supposed to happen like that. Also, the prosecution lead indicates that before an affidavit can be authorized, or it must be discussed with the lead prosecutor. So when Advocate Ramsamy comes with the presentation, I think she will be able to complete that part where she will explain what the processes were supposed to be. But from your question, they were not supposed to have done that.
And do you know what kind of affidavits were being collected?
From what I was informed also is that there was a affidavit of a 204 that had already been obtained and that I was not aware of. So I took issue with that also.
And at what stage was that 204 taken, to your knowledge?
I could say that it was just in the beginning of the start of the investigation.
And why were you taking issue with that?
I'm taking issue with the issue of 204s because the normal standard practice, it will be you investigate your case properly, so then when at least you are faced with the situation that you can't move anywhere or anyhow, that is the time that you can start considering those things. So, but to start obtaining 204 statement just in the beginning of the investigation, to me, it sounded like this thing is directed somewhere or somehow.
And just for clarity, what is a 204?
A 204 is a statement that it's obtained from, we call them person of interest, but it's a suspect. So we obtain that statement from the suspect that he will incriminate himself on the subject matter that is being investigated. Then he's assisting with the investigation on that.
And you say how soon, because the investigation was authorized on the 6th of December, how soon did they start collecting this 204?
No, I can just say it's just some days after that.
And then this also deals, commissioners, with the paragraphs 48 to 51. But just on the last answer that you gave, why is it problematic to get a 204 so early in the investigation?
It is a problem because you are running a risk of being misled by this person of interest, because he can actually divert or push you into a wrong path. Instead of obtaining the subjective investigation yourself, so that even if you are approaching someone, you can be able to detect if he's lying or what. So it is not advisable to start things at that way.
And so it was your view that this investigation was being directed in a particular way?
That is correct. That is the reason why I refused and said I can't get involved into this thing.
And when you raised these issues with Ms. Ramsamy and Mr. Sisoko, did you get any feedback?
No, they gave me feedback. They indicated that I should continue concentrating on the Lushaba matter, and the other matter, the other two guys will continue with it. So that meant that because I was a lead on all these cases, then that means from the day that I was removed, then Mr. Padiachi assumed the responsibility of being a lead on that other matter.
On the Mugwele matter?
That is correct.
And you then retained the Lushaba matter?
That is correct.
Chair, we are going to move on to the next subtopic. Maybe just to say that the recent exchange would deal with paragraphs 48 to 51 of the statement. What remains is a consultation with Mr. O'Sullivan and the disciplinary proceedings that were instituted against the witness.
Let's continue and see
how far we can
how it goes. Yeah.
Now let's deal with your consultation with Mr. Paul O'Sullivan, which takes place on the 13th of January. You deal with this at paragraph 45 onwards of your affidavit.
Yes, I was instructed to contact Mr. O'Sullivan and to find out from him what he was investigating and whether he had reported or opened a case, so that if there was a case open, so that we can go and also collect the case. So during the interview, or just before the interview, he sent me 2 emails. On the emails, it's the document that I've already explained, the letter and the report that I've already indicated. So on the email...
Just one second. Commissioners, there would have been 2 other documents handed up. It's 2 emails, both dated Monday, 13 January 2025. The first is sent at 14:11. And there is the directive of the minister attached. That was the annexure in that email. If we can mark that annexure.
Which one do we mark first, the thicker one or
the one with the letter attached? Would be the thinner one.
The thinner one. So 13, 1
yes.
3.
And then the second email was sent on the same day, Monday, 13 January 2025 at 14:28, which contains Ms. Mukwele's details. And that can be marked MRR 14. Yes, Mr. Rapetsu, you're explaining about the 2 annexures?
Yes, the 2 annexures, I printed them as they are. Then I recorded them in the docket to be filed. So I also made an entry in the diary of the docket.
And just for the record, the entry is annexure MRR 5. If you go to page 40. Mr. Rapesu, at page 40, is that where you recorded the consultation?
That is correct. At page 40, I confirm. That is the entry.
Is it the one dated 15 January 2025?
That is correct.
15 or 18?
That is the 15th, Commissioners.
Thank you.
And Chair.
And is that where you then recorded the additional documents?
That is correct, Chair.
Yeah, I won't dare to read your...
Ms. Po, when you first mentioned these emails, I thought you had said they were copied to Advocate Johnson, but that came from you, so I don't think the witness said that.
Yes, it came from me. There was a little mistake with the cover emails. It's not the complete cover emails, but the witness can explain who was covered. There's a trailing email.
That's correct.
Mr. Rapesu, can you explain that what happened when you were looking at the emails that were sent?
That is correct. When I was looking at the emails, there is a trail that shows that this email was sent already to Advocate Johnson.
By Mr. O'Sullivan.
But by Mr. O'Sullivan, yes.
Date?
At first, I thought it's 5 December, but it should be 5th of January.
But you say that email trail is somewhere, so it can be provided
No, on the laptop it shows is there.
during lunch.
Yes, Ms. Nube is just trying to see if we can project it quickly, but it does copy the ID and General Sibia on the 5th of January 2025. But we will
That is correct.
ensure that copies are provided.
When Ms. Johnson said to us, as she testified, that she has never had any dealings with Mr. O'Sullivan relating to these matters, the Mukwele matter in particular, I think that's what she was asked. According to those emails, that would not be correct because she would have received an email from him.
That I can confirm that there is an email directed to her on the 5th, if I stand to be corrected.
Okay.
That one I can confirm.
Thank you.
Thank you. That should deal with your consultation with Mr. O'Sullivan. Did he?
Ms. Bowe, maybe for the record, you referred to MRR.
MRR5.
Yeah, you referred to a directive from the minister, but the record doesn't know what you're talking about. Maybe for the record, you should say what is attached there.
Attached to the email, perhaps the annexure MRR 13 is the directive of the minister relating to Crime Intelligence Ports of Entry and Political Killings Task Team, dated 31 December 2024.
It's what we have has been referred to in this commission as the disbandment letter. PKTP
Correctly.
disbandment letter.
Precisely.
And you say you got this from Mr. O'Sullivan.
That is correct, Chair.
Did he say where he got it from?
No, it didn't say, Chair.
Thank you.
Chair, I'm advised that the attorneys do have that. I'm just going to ask them to hand that up so that you can have it quickly. It's relevant also for a different set of individuals. Yes, we're going to flight. Oh, my apologies. I was confused. I didn't know we have the screen in front of the witness, so I was pleasantly surprised. In the screen in front of you, we have projected the email concerned, and you'll see it's Monday on the 13th is where you have an attachment.
That is correct.
And that would have been the disbandment letter. And then if you scroll down, you will see the trailing email. And there it's dated the 5th of January 2025. And it's addressed to, for the record, for the public purposes, we've redacted the recipient, but that is Ms. Mukwele. And then copied in that is General Sibia and Adv Johnson.
And Minister.
And
Minister
Mkhunu is also copied. My apologies. Don't look at the redacted version. If you look at the version on the hard copy, you'll see that there is also I can't pronounce that surname, but SMK at SAPS. So it's General Sibia, Advocate Johnson, this individual, and Minister Mkhunu, who are all copied. And in it, I've been made to understand that this email in particular was dealt with at the time Mr. O'Sullivan was before the commission. And this was his email to Ms. Miguelo indicating a couple of questions that he had, demanding a response from her by a particular date.
And the response is to render, I'm looking at the next page, maybe we have that. So the response is where he says within 14 days, and he wants her to do all of those things, 1, 2, 3. Is that the response you wanted from her?
And Ms. Arapiso, you confirmed that this was one of the things that Mr. O'Sullivan was bringing to your attention.
I confirm, Chair.
Thank you. Now, you say that after the meeting, you gave feedback to the team. Does this include the documents that were provided, including this email?
Correct, Chair, Commissioners.
Thank you. Now, the last topic that you deal with in your statement relates to the disciplinary proceedings against you. Oh, my apologies. Correctly done, this is actually follows on to the first page of the cover page in MRR 13. So if you look at the bottom of the page, it'll say page 2, and this one that you just got will say page 3. So we'll just have to insert it properly into everybody's files. Then we can move to the disciplinary proceedings against you. Can you summarize what happened in this regard?
Commissioners, around that time, it was a time when I was questioning or refusing to work on this matter. And the chief was not happy that I was also indicating that they cannot do any of the investigation without informing me. So he took issue with that. So on the 10th of February, I was called to the head's office, Advocate Johnson. So on arrival, I was presented with the correspondence, or let me just call it a letter, that was addressed to me, indicating that disciplinary action has been instituted against me and that I have 7 days to respond to the said letter. I was instructed to hand over everything that was in my possession, meaning I have to hand over all the dockets, documents, everything that was in my possession. I did do so. I handed everything. Then I left the building.
All right. On that paragraph, the letter that was sent to you is MRR 6, which is at page 43. And just in sum, what were you being accused of? And in relation to what matter?
I was being accused of leaking information. So I was informed that I phoned, at that time I was not provided with the name of the person that I was alleged to have phoned, but it was indicated that I phoned a person of interest. the person of interest will be a suspect and informed him about information that is investigated by IDEC. And I informed this person that there was an ongoing investigation against him, and I gave him the name of the investigator who was investigating him.
And this was in relation to which matter?
I can't say in relation to a matter because it was just allegations put like that. But later on, I became aware that this person that is alleged that I phoned, it was Mr. Cedric Ngabinde.
So in essence, the ID was telling you that she received a call from Mr. Ngabinde claiming that you had informed him of an investigation against him.
That is correct.
And then after this letter that you received, what then happened? You wrote back?
I then responded to the allegations indicating, can I be, oh yes. I then responded to the allegation indicating and denying that I leaked information to Mr. Ngabinde, and I also put a version of what had actually transpired prior to this incident happening. Just to cut it short, on my response, I indicated that the person who actually phoned Ngabinde, it was Mr. Perumal, Chief Perumal. And he instructed or maybe spoke to Ngabinde to phone the ID and make those allegations. So in my reply, basically, I'm putting it to her that she should not be looking at me. She should be looking at the people she's working with, which is Mr. Perumal and Mr. Padiachi.
Okay.
So at the same time, I was also offering myself to say I'm willing to go through the polygraphy test to prove that I didn't make that call.
And you were also volunteering your cell data?
I also volunteered my cell phone data. I also volunteered and gave permission that they can check my phone if they want.
And just so that we cover this basis, assuming that there was some investigation into Mr. Ngabinde, Advocate Johnson accused you of sharing information about an investigation with the suspect or a person of interest in that investigation.
That is correct.
Thank you. And now you then get another letter. This one is dated the 26th. And that is MRR 8.
Whilst you are finding it, what was Mr. Ngabinde being investigated for, do you know?
I didn't even know what was the investigation about.
Oh, all right. Maybe you've said this already, but let me just ask anyway. And this is Minister Mkunu's Chief of Staff.
Is this Minister Mkunu's Chief of Staff, Chair?
Chair, two witnesses will deal with this aspect, Ms. Ramsamy and Mr. Sisoko, in detail, the investigation part.
Thank you.
Just ask a slightly different question. You deposed to that one affidavit about the handling of the dockets, and you said it's because of what was said in Parliament, in the ad hoc committee. Did you follow all of Ms. Johnson's evidence? And I'm asking because I seem to recall, and I'm trying to find it here, on this Ngabinde matter.
That is correct.
Did you follow that part of it?
I did, Chair.
Okay. And it came up in the context of a rogue that General Mkwanazi had said there are rogues. Do you remember that?
I remember, Commissioner.
Can you just remind me what she said? about the Ngabinde complaint or complaint, in fact, I think, to IDEC.
Chair and Commissioner, if I remember well, she said that Ngabinde had called her and made false allegations against one of investigators. So I can't remember if there was a follow-up or what actually happened after that, but I remember those words.
My recollection, and correct me if I'm wrong, is she testified that when they followed up, there was no response from him, and that matter went nowhere. In fact, they found that the allegations were false.
That is correct.
Is that how you remember it? Okay.
That is correct.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bowen.
Thank you. Then you get a further letter on the 26th.
That is correct.
And that letter is attached as MRR 8 at page 50.
That is correct.
My apologies, I just missed that an affidavit that you did, which is MRR 9.
On mine, same 52.
Yes. And there, in that affidavit, you again explained your position.
In the affidavit, I'm explaining my position, and I'm also indicating that there were further charges or further accusations that were made. And I'm also denying those further allegations.
Do you recall what the essence of those further allegations were?
I think they will be contained in the letter that I received before. I don't know if it's attached. No. The meeting was in person.
Okay.
So it could be that.
Is it where you say you attended a meeting on the 2nd of April 2025?
That is correct.
And that is at paragraph 3 on page 52.
52. That is correct.
And what was the essence of those new allegations or additional allegations?
In fact, they were just trying to substantiate and to put more information that will try to indicate that it was indeed me who phoned. And they were trying to supplement it further to qualify that I'm actually the person who contacted Mr. Ngabinde.
Okay, and in that paragraph 3, you say there that you were informed also that Mr. Mbalo, who was the investigator of this issue, was appointed as an investigator on this matter. I was also informed that Mr. Mbalo tried in vain to obtain an affidavit from the person who called the ID, which I was informed that it was Mr. Cedric Ngabinde, who is currently working as the staff officer in the Minister of Police. So they told you that they were not even able to obtain a statement from Mr. Ngabinde.
Yes, there's one of the reasons why I requested that he provide an affidavit. I knew that he will not provide because this thing was just concocted. It was just fabricated to look like it's legit. So I requested that he put an affidavit so that he can put. I can't use.
You can say it in whatever way. We are multilingual.
No, I wanted him to bind himself legally that he's saying that I did that so that he can have consequences. So, but he refused to write the affidavit. And also, I need to indicate that Mr. Mbalo, it's he's from East London with Mr. Perumal. So the fact that they put him as an IO on this matter, it then meant that obviously Chief Perumal will be guiding the investigation. So it then means that Mr. Perumal will be a referee and a player in this process. So why I'm saying that is he's actually a complainant because he's the one that said Nkabinde must phone. He's also a witness because when the phone was made, he was with the head of the office, Adv Johnson. He's also a suspect because he is the one that orchestrated this thing. Also, he's now the IO again of the same matter.
Okay.
Besides coming from the same town or city, were they close?
They were very close.
I'm asking because I'm not close to everybody who comes from my hometown.
Actually, just to give context, Mr. Mbalo was a TRT member. He was one of the guards of Chief Perumal. So eventually, he became the investigator. He's now working under Chief Perumal. So you can see from there that they are very close.
No, that answers me. Thank you.
Do you know when this investigation started into you, or when the call was made?
I did not even know the date, the time, or the duration of the call, because Nkabinde told them straight that actually when Mbalo indicated to me that he requested that information from Nkabinde, Mr. Nkabinde told them that he can't remember when the call was made. And it's recorded on my affidavit that this is what Mbalo said to me. So as things stand, I don't have the date of the call. I don't have the date in the form of hours, minutes, or seconds. I don't even know the duration of that call. It was never put to me that on this date I did this. I don't know when that call was made.
And are you aware when the ID launched an investigation into you?
I will presume that on that day that I was informed, on the day that I was informed that Mr. Mbalo is the IO, I presumed that that was the start.
Okay.
Ms. Pewa, if you look at page 43, if you hadn't, and you have from paragraph 7 there, and 8, 9, that's Ms. Johnson. Maybe you want to put it to the witness, it might refresh what discussion they had.
So now if you go to page 43 at paragraph 7,
Correct.
you'll see there in the letter, Advocate Johnson reports that she started receiving the calls on the 29th. You see that?
That is correct.
And that it's only on the 30th when she got an opportunity to speak with that person.
That is correct. But also, these dates relates to the dates when she received a call, allegedly received a call from Nkabinde. The actual call to Nkabinde, no one is talking about it, where he's alleging that he received a call from myself.
Okay. And then just I want to point your attention to something else. If we can go into file 10. My apologies, Commissioner Khumalo. At page 245.
I'm there.
right. You will see there is a screenshot that was provided by Ms. Ramsamy. And then you'll see that on the 30th, there is a conversation that's happening. The first message is at 13:45. You see that?
I can see that,
And
Chair.
it says, afternoon, Adv Johnson, please advise authorization for the GAB standalone. Must it be done as a section 2813 or 281? And then there's a response to that, and it says, we'll check. We will need to talk. Something terrible has happened. Whatever you do, don't discuss anything with GAB with Mansa. When you hear what I have to say, your heart will break. And that's at 13:55. And then Ms. Ramsamy responds and says, we have been keeping that between Mr. S, myself, and Dylan. And then if you go on to the next message at 14:05, Adv Johnson responds and says, don't talk to Mr. S either. I have to figure some things out. It's bad. Then there's a response from Ms. Ramsamy says, I won't. I'm worried now. Now, this seems to be a conversation about an authorization on an investigation related to Ms. Nkabinde. Did you know anything about this investigation?
No, I didn't know anything about it.
And it seems that Ms. Ramsamy confirms that they've been keeping this between herself, Mr. S, and Dylan.
No, I saw that.
And just to confirm, who's Mr. S?
Mr. S would be Mr. Sissoko.
So at this stage, you had no knowledge of an investigation into Mr. Nkabinde, and clearly one of the people involved is saying that this investigation was kept between the three people.
Yes.
Okay. Now, Commissioners, I propose to move past this to cover the last thing, which is his grievance that he then files during this process. Can we then go to paragraph 61 on page 19? Can you explain the process that you followed in lodging the grievance and what has happened in regard to that grievance?
I subsequently decided to lodge a grievance after I have sent numerous emails asking about the progress of this investigation. So since the 7th of February, we are now in October. Nothing is happening. Everyone is quiet. There's no information about the polygraphy. There's nothing. There's no update. So I decided to send emails to say what is happening. None of the response is coming. On the 24th, I decided to file a grievance to say I've been investigated from this day. Still today, no one is saying fuck all about this thing.
Yes, nobody has said anything about the matter.
That is correct.
And after your grievance was filed, what happened? Was there a response to the grievance?
As we're sitting here, there's nothing. I have not heard anything since then. What actually happened is I happened to get information that at some point after the grievance, there was, I don't know whether to say panic or maybe a retaliation or what. So Nkabinde was contacted again to say, hey bro, things have changed now. So I don't know how they managed to persuade him to file an affidavit. So I'm informed there's an affidavit and it was obtained after I lodged the grievance. I'm also informed that there's a case that was opened, section 41(6), against me. So I can't say anything further than that, just the information that I've received. And also, I need to indicate that Mr. Padiachi was going around the office telling people that I put his life in danger. And he was accusing me of putting his life in danger because one of the accusations was that I put his name as an investigator. So I'm just putting it.
You told Mr. Nkabinde that Mr. Padiachi was the investigator?
That is correct.
Okay.
So, but I'm hoping it will turn out that he is not part of this, because if he is, then I don't know. But my belief is that him and Dylan Perumal, they are the ones that orchestrated this thing.
And just for clarity, what is a section 41(6) investigation?
The section 41(6) investigation is, I think advocate tried to explain it yesterday to say, you are barred from sharing information about cases that you're investigating with outside people, or maybe sometimes with other colleagues that are not designated. It's along those lines.
And have you ever seen that kind of inquiry, 41(6), being conducted internally at IDEC?
I have never. This should be the first one. Alternatively, maybe if there was, I was not aware of.
Thank you. And you've also mentioned that despite various follow-ups, nothing has since come out of any of these processes.
Forgot.
And then, I mean, you just reiterate towards your end of your statement that you believe that this was orchestrated by Chief Perumal.
That is correct.
And then the last thing that you deal with is your conclusion, where you set out what you intend to do.
So I'm indicating in my conclusion that I'm intending to open a criminal case. So the reason why I didn't open a case then is because I didn't want it to look like I'm countering whatever that they were investigating against me. So I wanted their process to finish so that I can continue. So it looks like they don't want it to finish. So basically, I've been investigated forever and there's no outcome in this. So I'm gonna ask that, I think I'll speak to advocate, because there are processes when you have to open cases and other things. But my intention is to open a criminal case, and I'm hoping that the commission will also assist by providing investigators to take over that case, because I don't want it to land on wrong hands somewhere. So that's basically what, in short, yes, that's what I'm intending to do.
Mr. Rapesu, one question. You say in that paragraph 63 that there is a section 2813 investigation.
That is correct.
That was instituted.
That is correct.
Okay. Yeah, I think it seems wrong to me, because section 2813 permits investigations to enable the ID to determine if there are reasonable grounds in terms of subsection 1A of 28.
It might be wrong. I accept, but remember, I'm working with the information. I'm not even sure whether it's 1 or it's 13. I'm just assuming that it's.
But you were told there was an investigation under section 28.
Yes, maybe I can just leave it to say there was investigation on the section 41(6).
I see. Yes, I think better that way. Are you? Sorry, you want to say something?
I was going to say, Commissioner Baloyi, there is indeed a section 2813, and Mr. Sissoko is going to deal with that process. Yes.
Okay. Are you presently on duty, or you've been suspended?
I am presently on duty, sitting in my corner, Yana, somewhere.
You are performing functions.
Yeah, but with restrictions, Chair and Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you.
Just to understand, what restrictions have been put in?
I was provided with the restrictions that I cannot investigate any matter that has to deal with any submatters security cluster that will include all the people that are sitting in the security cluster. I'm barred from investigating those cases.
So you can proceed with all the other investigations into the Zondo recommendations?
That is correct.
Okay. That aren't related to the security sector cluster?
That is correct.
All right. Thank you. And CI would be included in the security cluster, so you wouldn't be...
That is correct.
Okay. Those are my questions, unless there's something else that you want to say.
No, I'm okay. I'm fine.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rapesu. Commissioners, there aren't any questions from me.
Maybe I will leave it for Advocate Ramsamy. In the chats you were looking at, there's one of the 6th of January 2025, where after the Cape Town consultation, she sends the chat to Advocate Johnson to update her about the Cape Town trip and the supplementaries, just to corroborate what this witness said. But maybe because it's Advocate Ramsamy's chat, she will speak to it when she comes back.
All right. Yes, Commissioner. I'm advised it will be covered in part 2.
Thank you. Before we go to lunch, can we ask to meet council outside, please? And we'll come back shortly. Just a moment. When we stand down just now, you are free to depart. You are excused. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners.
Thank you. Let's adjourn.